proud of the strength that you all showed in the face of this tragedy, because that right there can't be bought, it can't be replicated.
A fallen deputy honored in his hometown. We're taking you to Nassau County, where Deputy Josh Moyers is being remembered tonight. Plus, the death penalty on the table for the man accused of killing Deputy Moyers. We're on your side with what's next for Patrick Mcdowell. And a big decision ahead for Duval County Public Schools. Change the mask mandate or see money cut. Ahead when the district must make its decision. Thanks for staying up with us on this Friday. For First Coast News at 11, I'm Heather Crawford. Anthony Austin has the night off. Breaking tonight, back and forth continues over the nation's toughest abortion law. Tonight, an appeals court reinstated the law that bans abortions once a heartbeat is detected, typically around 6 weeks. This decision comes 24 hours after a lower court sided with the White House and suspended the Texas law. That law similar to a bill that's being considered right now in Florida. The Justice Department has until Tuesday to respond. Well, tonight at 11, the man accused of killing a Nassau County deputy could face the death penalty. The state making that announcement today after Patrick Mcdowell was indicted for first-degree murder in the death of Deputy Josh Moyers. On your side, Don White has more now from two experts on what must happen for someone to be sentenced to death here in Florida.
For a capital case or a death penalty case, it has to be something of the first degree, in this case, murder in the first degree. So it's premeditated murder.
This man, Patrick Mcdowell, is accused of shooting and killing Nassau County's Sheriff's Deputy Joshua Moyers during a September traffic stop in Callahan.
There's no specificity on time on premeditation. It can be a moment in time where they make that decision that I'm going to take this person's life. And in this case, that's what Mcdowell did.
First Coast News crime and safety expert Mark Bachman says premeditation can happen in just mere seconds.
It has to be a thought, a period of thought, and it can be as little as 5 seconds or 2 or 3 seconds. It doesn't have to be something planned over a week or days.
Alan Chipperfield is an assistant public defender in Jacksonville and says in order to get a death sentence, the state has to prove an aggravating circumstance.
Things such as having a prior conviction for a crime of violence, being in custody or under sentence at the time of the crime, a murder that's cold, calculated, and premeditated. That is a higher level of premeditation.
Chipperfield says the defense will try to prove mitigating circumstances of why a defendant shouldn't get the death sentence.
Things like growing up in poverty, being abused as a child, being under the influence of another person, being high on drugs, being under some sort of pressure to commit the crime.
Reporting Dawn White, First Coast News, on your side.
So right now, there are 305 inmates on death row in Florida. 99 have been executed in the state since 1976. Meanwhile, Patrick Mcdowell is behind bars without bond. He's set to be in court October 21st for his arraignment, where he's expected to enter a plea. And new at 11, a concession stand named in honor of that fallen Nassau County deputy. Take a look at this new video right here. If you take a close look at your screen, you may be able to see the sign that reads Deputy Joshua Moyers Snack Shack. That concession stand is the same one where police found the suspect accused of killing him 2 weeks ago in Callahan. Also new tonight, the Callahan Soccer Club honoring the deputy's life with their charity soccer game. The game ended about 90 minutes ago at the club's soccer field. Instead of admission, they were accepting donations that will go to the K-9 charity and the Moyers family.
We were thinking about a way to give back to the people that volunteered and worked their tails off to be able to bring justice and safety back to the community, and also to be able to kind of, shine a light on the man that we lost in the community. And Deputy Moyers was a staple of this community. He grew up out here. He played at these fields.
It's beloved, and a GoFundMe for the Moyers families now raised more than $48,000. You can find a link to the fundraiser by opening this story in the First Coast News app. A teenager was killed while riding with several other teens in Lake City last night. Florida Highway Patrol says that a 15-year-old was behind the wheel when the car hit a tree, flipping it several times. Friends identified Nevaeh Highsmith, a passenger, as the teenager who died in the crash. One of his friends described him as having a great personality. He told us he was funny and he wanted to play basketball in college.
Last thing I remember was basically when we swerved and started flipping, then I just closed my eyes. That's a night I don't want to remember, but I know it's going to keep repeating.
Those teens go to Columbia High School, where the school says there will be grief counselors for students and staff. A passenger says the driver swerved to avoid a deer. We're told that the 15-year-old driver did not have his license or his learner's permit. There have not been any charges filed at this time. A Jacksonville doctor, a former doctor, will serve a year in jail for indecent exposure. Dr. Kapoor is a former doctor at Baptist Health. Last month, he was found guilty of exposing himself during a medical exam in 2017. Today, a judge decided to give him the maximum penalty for that offense. He's also being sued by the patient. Kapoor still faces a separate trial from his August 2020 arrest, where he was accused of sexual battery on a child under 12. A plan to remove a Confederate statue from Springfield is getting support from several Jacksonville City Council members. The monument to the women of Confederacy is covered up, but it still stands there at the park. Last year, Mayor Curry promised to remove the statue. Councilman Reggie Gaffney says this is a step to make sure everyone feels comfortable when they visit the park.
You will keep your history, but it shouldn't be at a public park. A public park should be for all of us. Not for your good history or my bad history. It should be for all of us. So I think it's a place for that, but not in a public park.
Now, there is no date set yet on when that monument will be removed. It's estimated it will cost more than $1 million. Time is running out for Duval County Public Schools to comply with the state's face mask policy or lose funding. This week, the Florida Board of Education voted to withhold a month's pay from school board members if they don't start to follow the state's rule. Now, the state wants parents to have the option to opt out of mandates in schools. In Duval County, students must provide a signed note from a doctor in order to opt out of wearing masks. Schools are required to comply by Monday. Well, not everyone agrees with the decision to stop glass recycling in St. Augustine. The city says there's no market for glass and that they're having to pay a lot of money for it to be thrown out. The city says it costs $120 per ton to dispose of it, compared to $56 a ton for other waste. We spoke with a company in Florida today that converts recyclable materials like glass into products for manufacturers. They tell us the demand for glass is actually high.
I think recycling glass is important. I mean, it saves landfill space, it saves energy, it saves air emissions.
So the city says it's looking into options, considering a machine that could crush glass into the size of sand. Demand for school bus drivers is still high across the country, especially in St. Johns County. The district is growing by about one school each year. So the district invited our Jessica Clark to climb into the driver's seat to demonstrate that you, too, can learn to drive a school bus. Now, you do need a commercial driver's license to drive a school bus. If you don't have one, don't worry. The county will pay for you to get one. They'll also train you.
Cut it hard.
It's really hard.
Okay.
Make sure you don't go in the grass.
Oh, did I just do something wrong?
No, you just get the grass.
I just hit the grass. Okay.
Jess did great out there. So if you're thinking about, maybe you want to be a school bus driver, but you're not sure you can actually drive a big yellow bus, the St. Johns County School District's hosting an event called Come Drive the Bus with Us. It's Saturday, October 23rd from 8 until noon. You can test your skills in a school bus simulator. You can even drive a bus on that training track with a certified trainer. It's taking place at the Public Safety Campus on Gaines Road in St. Augustine. In celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month, 3 Grains of Rice Missions is hosting a mobile food pantry to help about 300 families. So mark your calendar. The drive-up event will be a week from Saturday, October 16th, from 3 until 5 at Roca del Salvacion Church. That's located on Arnold Road in Jacksonville, near Southside and Atlantic Boulevard. Just drive up, they'll load your car with pantry items and fresh produce. Well, a live look tonight over in empty TIAA Bank Field, where the Jags are going to take on the Titans this Sunday. Kickoff is scheduled for 1 p.m. And the action continues Sunday night right here on NBC 12. The Buffalo Bills will be in Kansas City taking on the Chiefs. Kickoff will be at 8:20.